Cinnamon Bear.
Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear were in a pretty pickle when we saw them last. They found the Crazy Quilt Dragon all right, but he'd been thrown into a short trance, as he called it, by the Wintergreen Witch, who made off with the Silver Star. So there was nothing to do but to try and find her. But what do you think? Nobody knew how to get out of the magic forest and back into the witch's house. Then Jimmy remembered the little whistle which Fee-Fo, the gentle giant, had given him, with instructions to blow it 3 times if help was needed. But Jimmy couldn't blow it loud enough, so Crazy Quilt volunteered for the job and took such a deep breath that he swallowed it. And as Jimmy says,
"This is the limit. What'd you have to go and swallow the whistle for?"
"Couldn't help it. A slip."
"Oh, dear. Now we'll just have to walk, and maybe we'll never be able to get out of this old forest."
"What's the matter, Crazy Quilt?"
"He's got the hiccups. And every time he hiccups, it blows the whistle."
"Quick, Crazy Quilt, do it again." "That's swell. You blew it 3 times.
"Good. Maybe Fee-Fo will come to our rescue."
"Bless my stuffing, I can hear him now."
"That's enough, Crazy Quilt. Fee-Fo heard you."
"Can't stop. It just keeps..."
"Here I am, my little friends. Just as I said I'd be. But my gracious, you don't have to blow the whistle so many times."
"We're not doing it on purpose, Fee-Fo. The Crazy Quilt Dragon's got it caught in his throat.
And every time he hiccups,
it whistles."
Well. Ho, 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 ho. I'll fix that. Just a pat on the back.
There it is.
Oh, what an ordeal. Why does everything happen to me?
"Because you're always sticking your Crazy Quilt nose in somebody else's business, that's why."
So this is the Crazy Quilt Dragon you were looking for. And did he give you back your Silver Star?
"No, he didn't, Fee-Fo, 'cause the Wintergreen Witch did something magic to him and made him bring it to her."
Crazy Quilt says she's a terrible old witch. Does she scare you, Fee-Fo?
It all depends on what color she is.
That's right. Didn't you say she changed colors, Crazy Quilt?
Definitely. And you didn't believe me, Smarty. She changed from green to purple to red.
Oh, that's bad. When she's all right, she stays green. But when she gets a notion to practice magic, she goes all sorts of colors.
Well, no matter what color she gets, we've got to find her.
"Yes, and that's why we called for you, Fee-Fo. We thought maybe you'd be real nice and take us back to the place where we came through the picture frame. We don't know which way to go."
I'd be glad to. Only I'm sorry to see you leave the magic forest. It's awful lonesome here. Maybe you can come back and see me again, huh?
Willikers, I don't see how we can, Fee-Fo, on account of we've got to get our star and get back home before Christmas.
Oh, well, maybe someday you can. All right, everybody. I'll put the dragon on my left shoulder and the rest of you on my right. Up you go.
We're way up in the air again.
My, this is something new for me. My, you are a whopper of a giant, Fee-Fo. Simply a whopper.
Hold tight. Here we go. Here we are, folks. End of the trip.
What, so soon?
Sure. Fee-Fo's no slowpoke. Only takes a few of his big steps to get you someplace in a hurry.
All right, now. Down you go.
Gee, we're right where we came in, too. I can see right through the trees into the Wintergreen Witch's house.
Sure enough. There's a fireplace and all the pots in front of it.
Well, my friends, I wish I were small enough to go through the picture frame with you, but that's impossible. So I'll just have to say goodbye and good luck.
Goodbye, Fee-Fo. We'll never forget you.
You bet. And thanks a million.
Goodbye. And I hope the witch stays green.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, now, steel yourselves, everybody, and through the picture frame.
Okay, Cinnamon Bear. Here I go.
And me.
And reluctantly, I.
The room is empty. Not a soul here.
Splendid, splendid. Oh, Wintergreen Witch.
Right, my pretty dears, right. Thought I wasn't here, eh?
Hold my hand, Jimmy.
Excuse me, but I just remembered I left the water running in the bathtub. I'll see you later.
Me too. Come on, children. Out the door.
It closed itself.
Hurry, back through the picture frame.
Oh, it's nothing but a flat painted picture now.
Oh, trapped, doomed. This is the end.
Jiminy crickets. Look at the witch. She's changing colors.
Green and blue and purple and red.
Sit down, my dainties. Sit down and make yourselves comfortable, because you'll be here a long time. A long, long time.
What are you going to do, Mrs. Witch?
You'll find out. And don't call me Mrs. Witch.
Please, Mrs. Wintergreen, give us our silver star and let us go.
Yes, please give it back.
We've come an awful long ways to get it.
And after all, madam, what does a wonderful sorceress with your great power want with a paltry Christmas tree ornament?
I want it for my magic forest. That's something I've never had before. I'm going to hang it in the sky over the Black Lake.
Well, if we can't have the star, would you mind if we just sort of moseyed along?
No, you don't. I have other plans, my pretties. Other plans.
Well, I bet you can't do anything to Judy and me, because we belong to the USA. And I bet you can't magic any American citizens, so there.
Besides, we don't believe in witches anyhow. They're just to scare people on Halloween.
So you don't believe the Wintergreen Witch can magic things, eh? I shall demonstrate. First, I open the door. Now, see how beautiful and clear it is outside?
Indeed, and how I'd like to be outside.
Now I'll close the door. And mumbo, jumbo, hubba dubba, ooh. Now I open the door again.
Gee willikers, look!
It's raining cats and dogs.
There. You've heard of it raining cats and dogs, haven't you?
Yes, Mrs. Wintergreen.
Now you've not only heard, but seen it. Do you still think the Wintergreen Witch can magic things?
Oh, no. You're truly wonderful. But won't you please let us go?
Yes, pretty please. We haven't done anything to you.
No, but I'm going to do something to you.
Oh.
There are several things I need around the house or in the magic forest, and you pretties have come just at the right moment. First, I think I'll change you twins into white mice.
Oh, please don't. Not mice. I don't like them at all.
And this Crazy Quilt Dragon will look beautiful after I've changed him into a pincushion.
Oh, Agony.
And as for this funny little bear, he'll make a lovely doormat with welcome on his tummy.
Only poor stuffings.
Now be quiet while I prepare my magic.
Jimmy, if we only had something to make her forget about us and the silver star. Have you got anything she might like?
Gee, I don't think she'd like my knife, and my swell wristwatch is home in my bureau drawer.
I've got it. Maybe she'd like my little looking glass. Mrs. Wintergreen?
Yes, my pretty dear?
I have something much nicer than the silver star for you, and it's ever so much shinier. Look.
Ah! Take it away. Take it away. Don't you know witch can't stand to see their own faces? Take it away.
What a break. Keep on showing it to her, Judy.
No. Take it away. I'll do anything you ask, anything.
All right. First, you've got to let us go.
And promise not to do anything to us after we leave.
Oh, yes. But take that dreadful-looking glass with you.
And you've got to give us back our silver star.
Oh, even that. Here.
Oh, Jimmy, at last we've got it back.
Open the door, witch, and make it snappy.
And fool for you, Mrs. Wintergreen. Come along, children.
Isn't it swell, Judy? We've got the star and everything.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, but we can't stop to admire it now. We got to rush right down to the shore and get back across the root beer ocean. Come on, hurry, everybody.
Do you think you can swim us all the way back, Crazy Quilt?
Absolutely. I'm plenty full of corks to manage it. Climb aboard.
I think I'd better carry the star.
But suppose a wave washes it away, or another whale swallows it.
Pardon the suggestion, but I've an ideal place for it. My hind pocket, the one under that big orange patch. It's waterproof and has a zipper.
Okay, Crazy Quilt, unzip.
With pleasure. And in it goes. Zip again. And safe and sound. And hold on, my friends, for it's cheerio and into the root beer ocean.
You sure made good time, Crazy Quilt. Here we are back on the Maybeland mainland.
I can hardly believe it.
We're ever so grateful, Crazy Quilt.
Oh, not at all. But now that we're all hunky-dory, I must ask you to excuse me while I sit down and rest a bit from my strenuous swim.
Sure. You've got it coming to you, all right.
Uh-huh. Oh, I think this would be a lovely spot right here in the lee of this rock. There. Now I'll just lean back and...
What was that?
Oh, I fear my friend. Oh, I'm blushing red. Well, behold the star.
Willikers, it's busted.
In a dozen pieces.
And that's what I call very, very bad luck. After all the perilous adventures our friends have been through in order to recapture their silver star, this is really a blow. A lost star is bad enough, but a broken one is terrible. Just the same, I'll be with you next time to see what they're going to do about it.
Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Well, it's almost here. Only one more day, and there isn't a kid in the whole country who looks forward to it with more eagerness than Gildersleeve. Here comes the great man now, plodding up the front walk to his home. He's a little weary, a little out of breath, but his eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. And what a load of parcels he's got, right up to his chin. Oh, he can't even get hold of the doorknob.
Bertie! Bertie, quick, help me here, Bertie.
Mr. Gildersleeve, all them packages.
Yeah, and grab some of them, will you, Bertie? Grab the top ones.
I got them. Let go with your chin.
Yeah, where can we hide these, Bertie, where the kids won't find them?
Gosh, I don't believe there's a spot in the whole house that Leroy ain't into and out of all day long.
Well, how about the cedar chest up in the sewing room?
Him and Piggy were playing lifeboat in that yesterday.
Lifeboat?
Yeah, they wanted me to fly over them and drop them rations. But I just told them I was too busy to do any flying. I got other things to do. Plenty. Besides flying.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me see.
Oh, I know. In the wood closet.
Oh, that's no good, Bertie. Leroy's supposed to check that every day and make sure it's filled. That's one of his regular duties.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I could put a 7-layer cake in that closet, and it would be safe for a year with chocolate frosting. Any wood gets in there, I put in there.
Yeah, well, you know him better than I do, Bertie. Let's hide him in the wood closet, then.
Oh, quick, Mr. Gildersleeve. I think I hear Leroy coming in the back way.
Oh, here, you hide him, Bertie. I'll go and head him off.
Yes.
Well, my boy. Home from school already?
I didn't go to school today. We didn't have any school. You know that.
Oh, that's so. I'd forgotten. Well, how does it feel not to have any school then, huh? Pretty fine?
Unc, we went through all this at breakfast. What's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
What are you acting so funny about?
Who's acting funny? I'm merely trying to have a little conversation with you, that's all.
Gosh, most of the time you won't even listen to me. Well, let me just go.
I wouldn't go in there just now if I were you, Leroy.
Why not?
It's Christmas, my boy. Doesn't pay to ask too many questions.
Is it something for me?
Doesn't pay to ask too many questions.
Gosh, I know what I hope it is.
That's good.
There's just one thing I want for Christmas, that's all. Just one thing.
Believe I've heard you mention that before.
I wouldn't care if I didn't get another single thing if I just got that. Just that one thing. If I just got that, that would make Christmas perfect. I say it's one thing. There are several parts to it, actually. There's the bass drum and the snare drum and the cowbells, the woodblock and the cymbal.
Yes, yes.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve, all clear.
We can go in the front of the house now, my boy. Now, don't run.
What was Bertie doing, hiding it?
She asked me to step out while she was cleaning up in there.
Uh-huh.
All right, first to come in now, Bertie?
Oh, yes, sir. I put them logs away like you told me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Leroy, don't you go near that wood closet or you won't get a single thing that's in there, you hear?
Oh, I wasn't thinking of going near it. Why would I want to go near the wood closet?
Not to put any wood in it, I'll bet. Well, don't, that's all.
I was telling Uncle Mort, Bertie, there's only one thing I want for Christmas this year.
Leroy, it strikes me that all you ever think about is getting. You should give more thought to giving. That's the spirit of Christmas, my boy.
Oh, don't worry. I got that all taken care of. I know just what I'm going to give everybody. Except Marge.
Well, you better get busy on her present, too, then. Practically Christmas Eve. What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting till I find out how much she spends on my present.
Confound it, Leroy. That's no way to do. Christmas is not a time for horse trading. It's a time for generosity and being nice. Marjorie?
Hi, Auntie.
Where have you been?
At the Bullards. Not that it's any of your business.
Who said you could stay to lunch?
Nobody. Do I have to ask your permission?
Oh, stop it, both of you. Why can't you children be nice to each other on Christmas Eve, at least?
Well, I'm being nice. He's the one who threw...
Quiet.
Oh, Unky, I meant to ask you, is it all right if I go out for a while this evening with Marshall?
Go out. My dear, this is Christmas Eve.
Well, I know, but all the gang...
Christmas Eve we always spend at home. You know that.
Well, that's just the point.
What do you mean?
Well, she says Christmas Eve is corny.
I didn't say it was corny. I said it was dull.
My dear, what kind of talk is this?
Well, it's true. Everybody has to stay at home.
What?
I said everybody has to stay at home, and everybody has to do the same old thing year after year and pretend to enjoy it.
Marjorie, where do you get these ideas?
From Marshall.
Oh, go away. Uncle Mort, you know as well as I do, Christmas is nothing but a commercialized racket.
Indeed.
Just a way of making money.
Is that so?
So why go on being mushy and old-fashioned and sentimental about it? You can't expect us to go on believing all that nonsense forever. After all, we're not children.
I am.
You both are, if you only knew it. And that Marshall, if I get my hands on him.
I believe if you want something badly enough and you ask Santa Claus for it, and you keep wishing you had it, and you try to be a good boy, even if you're not too good. If you just try like I have all year, why, you can't tell. You might get it.
Yes, yes.
Because if you didn't, that'd be disappointing a little boy, and Santa Claus would never...
Oh, come off of it, Leroy. Now, Marjorie, about this evening.
Oh, well, all we're doing, Uncle Mort, a bunch of us are going over to Francie's and play her new phonograph and dance and things. Marshall's bringing his collection of hot records.
Hot records on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, and that's not all. Tell them what you call it, Marge. They call it the Anti-Santy Club.
Why don't you keep out of this?
Well, all I can say, I don't know what's happened to Christmas. But I think the whole thing is the most disgusting idea I ever heard of.
Uncle Mort, you don't want Marshall to think I'm a baby who isn't even allowed to go out after dark.
It strikes me, young lady, that you care more about what Marshall thinks than what I think. All right, go on, ruin Christmas. You've already ruined it anyway, you two.
Aren't you going to help me decorate the tree, Uncle?
Decorate it yourself.
Gosh, do I have to do it all alone?
Well, don't if you don't want to. I don't care if we even have a tree.
angel with a parachute. Remember him? Where do you think he looked best, Unc? Up top?
I don't care where you put him.
Gosh. Can I have a candy cane?
Before dinner?
Just one, Unc?
Have two. Maybe they'll make you sick.
Doorbell. I'll go. It might be a package. Oh, hi, Marshall. Come on in.
Your sister around?
She's upstairs.
That kid comes near me, I'll...
Hey, boys, the boyfriend!
Leroy.
It's Marshall, Unc.
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
I wanted Marge to hear a record I found today. Are you interested in good records, Mr. Gildersleeve?
In good ones, yes.
Well, this is a real find. An oldie, of course, but a real collector's item. Harry James' record of the mole.
The what?
The mole.
I thought that's what you said.
You'd like to hear it?
Not particularly. I understand, young man, that you've plans for this evening, you and Marjorie. Now, I may be old-fashioned, Marshall, but I was brought up to believe that Christmas...
hello, Marshall. Let's go into the study, shall we, so we won't disturb Uncle Morris?
No, just a minute. Doorbell.
I got it. Oh, hi, Craig. What do you want?
My brother here. Hey, Marshall, come on home.
Why?
To hang up your... Because Pop says to, that's why.
What for?
To hang up your stocking.
Excuse me, Marge. Listen, Squirt, what's the idea coming over here
Pop
like
says
this?
he doesn't care what you told Mom. He says you come home and hang up your stocking or it'll break your neck.
Okay.
And he says you needn't think you're going out of the house tonight either.
Craig, have a candy cane. Fine boy, fine boy.
Well, if you'll excuse me, about tonight, Marge, I don't know. It doesn't look too good.
That's perfectly all right, Marshall. Marjorie understands perfectly, don't you, my dear? Yes, indeed. You just run along. Yeah. Oh, Marjorie, I don't want you to be too disappointed.
Well, to tell you the truth, Unky, I'm kind of glad.
Well, it looks as if we might have a white Christmas after all.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a moment. Some friends dropped in the other night to help us trim our Christmas tree. And after we had the tree all decked out, Mrs. Lang served a buffet lunch. And while one of our guests was fixing a sandwich, she said to me...
I suppose, John, that this spread is the parquet margarine we've heard you raving about on the Gildersleeve show.
That's it, the one and only parquet margarine.
Well, here's that chance I've been waiting for. You've been saying that parquet margarine is still unmatched for flavor.
Yes, I have. And the best way to prove it is to taste that sandwich you just spread with parquet.
All right. 1, 2, 3, tasting.
Now, there's real flavor for you. Fresh, sweet, and delicate. Am I right?
Yes, you are. It's really delicious.
Thank you. And friends, I'm sure you'll have the same gratifying taste experience the very first time you spread parquet margarine on bread, hot toast, and rolls. I'm sure you'll agree with the millions who prefer parquet margarine, that it's still unmatched for flavor. Try it soon and let your own taste decide. That's Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by the Kraft Foods Company. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. It's getting on toward 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and here and there in Summerfield, lights have been turned on. Here a Christmas tree, there a neon sign. The Gildersleeve house is not yet lit up, though Gildersleeve is there wrapping parcels and putting artistic bows on them. At the moment, he is alone in the parlor.
Darn fancy paper. They never make it big enough. Must think people give each other thimbles for Christmas.
Hi, Unc. What you doing?
Don't sneak up on me like that, Leroy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
You didn't scare me. You merely surprised me. You were hoping you'd see something, weren't you?
No, I just happened to come downstairs quietly. I've been wrapping up Marge's present.
Oh, finally got one, did you?
Yeah. Swell, too. It cost $1.50.
Well, what is it?
Perfume. The bottle is shaped like a little house. I hope it smells good.
You mean you didn't smell it before you bought it?
Nah, but for $1.50, how could it be lousy?
Well, I hope you're right, my boy. Well, if your presents are ready, maybe you could help me wrap up some of these things.
Okay, sure, Unc.
Here, see if you can do a nice job on this box of cigars.
Who's it for, the old ghost?
Yeah, no. Leroy, these cigars are from my very good friend, Judge Horace Hooker.
Okay.
Oh, see who that is, my boy.
Maybe it's a present. Marge, Lee, look at all the packages.
I just took around some presents, and everywhere I went, they gave me something.
Well, that's Christmas, my dear.
Gosh, is all that stuff for you, Marge?
Oh, not all of it. Some of it's for the whole family.
I know those family presents. Doilies.
Don't be pessimistic. Put the things under the tree, my dear, and then you can help me and Leroy wrap up this other stuff.
Okay. I hope what Francie gave me is what I think.
What do you think?
What I gave her. I was going to get one for myself, too, but then I figured maybe.
Christmas is a bad time to buy things for yourself, my dear.
Here's the judge's cigars, Unc. Neat, hey?
A little shaggy, but I'll pass it. Where's that card I made out for it? Oh, here. Just shove this under the string.
Okay.
Why doesn't Leroy take it over to him?
Oh, maybe you can later. The judge doesn't stop by. He generally looks in on Christmas Eve.
You know what we ought to do? Francie's mother does it every year. We ought to get an extra package ready in case somebody drops in with a present we don't expect.
Well, good idea. Very clever.
I don't get it.
Well, you remember how embarrassing it was when Mrs. Pettibone came by last year?
Embarrassing? All she brought was a glass of jelly.
That's not the spirit, Leroy. Mrs. Pettibone was thoughtful enough to bring us a Christmas remembrance. It was beautifully wrapped, too.
So you couldn't tell it was jelly.
What did you say, Leroy?
Nothing.
Well, just be careful. Remember that Santa Claus can hear you even if I can't.
Okay. Do you think he's heard me say anything about a set of drums?
He certainly has. I venture to say he's sick of hearing about them.
Okay.
Unky, I know just the thing for the extra present. Those bookends Aunt Hattie sent you last year.
The two cupids leaning against each other? I don't know, my dear.
You never cared for them particularly, but someone else might be crazy about them.
Can't imagine who. But go ahead and wrap them up. They'll do for a real emergency.
I'll go upstairs and get them.
Doorbell! I'll get it!
Well, Merry Christmas, children.
Merry Christmas, Judge.
Is your uncle home? Oh, here he is. Compliments of the season, Throckmorton.
Well, same to you, Horace. Same to you. Take off your coat and mittens and make yourself at home.
No, I can't. Thank you just the same. I just stopped by to leave some little Christmas remembrance.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it, Horace. Leroy, where's that package we had for Judge Hooker?
Coming up.
Here. Take this with you, Horace, and all of our best wishes for a very Merry Christmas.
Throckmorton, you shouldn't have done it.
Nonsense, old friend. Christmas comes but once a year.
So it does. And in spite of all the inconvenience and the crowded stores and the whatnot, it's a grand old day.
Yeah, nothing like it. It's a day when a man really feels close to his friends and his family.
Exactly. Well, I've got to be running along. I hope you children won't be disappointed when you open your stockings tomorrow.
I'm sure everything will be lovely, Judge.
I hope it's as lovely as you're looking right this minute, my dear.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
She's growing up to be a pretty child, Throckmorton.
Don't tell her, Judge. You'll give her ideas.
Auntie. Got your package, Judge?
Yes, thank you. Well, goodbye, all.
So long, Judge. Thanks a lot.
Oh, yes, thank you, Judge.
Don't mention it.
Merry Christmas, Horace.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Good old Horace. Original, too, yeah. A little difficult at times, a little set in his ways, maybe, but true blue just the same.
He's sweet.
You said it. Can we look at the stuff he brought, Unc?
I think we'd better wait till tomorrow.
Oh, just one little peek.
Well, just one then, and no shaking, mind you.
Okay. Best wishes for a happy Christmas to Marjorie from her friend Judge Hooker.
My, it's big.
Merry Christmas to Leroy, and be careful with this. Say, might be a knife.
Yes, yes. Well, what does mine say?
Yours? He only left 2.
What?
That's right, Uncle Mort.
Why, that two-faced old goat. And I gave him 25 cigars, 3 for $29.
No, It's more blessed to give than to receive.
Don't tell me I know it, but by George, I'll show him next year. Well, the place is beginning to look Christmassy. Tree never really looks like anything until it's dark outside.
Let's turn out all the lights, then it'll look super.
No, not now. I'm reading.
Christmas cards look nice up on the mantel there. I think we got more cards than usual this year.
That's because the war's over.
Well, maybe. Say, I think it would be nice to spend a few minutes looking at our cards, make a little good wish for each of the people who sent them. What do you say, children?
It'd be more fun to open a present.
Yeah, Leroy. After all, a Christmas card is a real thought. A lot of trouble, too.
Well, sure, only...
Never mind. Marjorie, what about you?
I'm reading.
What a family. Well, I think it's a good idea, and I'm going through with it. Let's see. Here's a pretty card. 3 wise men walking through the snow to Bethlehem.
There wasn't any snow in Bethlehem.
There was 2. You can see it right here in the picture. Noel, Noel. That's all it says. Very nice. Yeah, who sent this? Oh, Summerfield Hardware Company. Hoping to fill your tool needs in 1946. By George, that's enough to turn a man's doorbell.
I got it. Leroy seems awfully willing today.
Hello, Mr. Peavy. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Peavy, I completely forgot him. I haven't got a present for him.
Aunt Hattie's bookend.
Gee.
Come on in, Mr. Peavy. He'll be glad to see you.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I want to take this opportunity to wish a very Merry Christmas to you and to your family.
Why, thank you, Mr. Peavy.
Yes, thanks, Peavy, and the same to you, and to Mrs. Peavy. Tell her, Peavy, that I... Peavy?
What's the matter?
Is that lipstick on your cheek, or do my eyes deceive me?
Lipstick?
Yes.
On my cheek?
Yes.
Well, it's darn mistletoe.
I don't blame the mistletoe, Peavy. Mistletoe isn't what leads a man astray.
I didn't go astray. I just went to deliver a Christmas present to Mr. to take a present to this certain party.
Who is it, Peavy? I might go take this party a little certain present myself. Come on now. Who was it?
Mr. Gildersleeve, a gentleman never betrays a lady. Just the same, I better get this stuff off my face before I go home. Mrs. Peavy doesn't take much stock in mistletoe.
Here, don't use your handkerchief, Peavy. Leroy, take Mr. Peavy up to the bathroom.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe that's necessary.
It's the only way. Isn't it, Marjorie?
It's the best way, Mr. Peavy.
The way of the transgressor is hard. Well, show me where it is, Leroy.
Okay. Gosh, all this fuss about little lipstick.
Poor Mr. Peavy.
Marjorie, he's left a 5-pound box of chocolates here. Look, Mr. Gildersleeve and family from the Peavies. What shall I do?
But the bookends. Oh, isn't it lucky we thought of it?
I suppose so. No, by George, it's not. I wouldn't give those bookends to a nice fellow like Peavy. I don't know who I would give them to now that I come to think of it.
Well, what can you do? We haven't got another thing.
Yes, we have. I have, that is. I bought myself a little present today. A little silver lighter I couldn't resist.
Why, Uncle Mort.
All right, I know I shouldn't have done it. Well, I'll give it to Peavy.
We'd better hurry and wrap it.
It's all wrapped. Right here under the tree. Thought I'd surprise myself Christmas morning.
What about a card?
Oh, yes, a card.
Here.
Merry Christmas to good old Peavy from Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve and family. What's so funny?
I was just reading the card you had on it before.
Give me that card.
To Throckmorton from his loving brother.
Well, my brother Wendell would probably give me a lighter if he thought of it, if he had any money. Oh, there you are, Peavy, as good as new.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. Rubbed half my face away getting the darn stuff off.
Yeah, he really worked on it.
I'm much obliged for the use of your facilities, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, think nothing of it, Peavy. Come on, sit down and relax for a while.
No, I really can't. Mrs. Peavy and I light our tree at 6 o'clock sharp, and I gotta be there.
Oh, well, in that case, of course.
Oh, I just came over to bring a couple of small gifts to you and Mrs. Ransom and
Oh, Mrs. Ransom. That's where you ran into the mistletoe.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm a cad.
Don't you worry about it, Peavy. If I know her, she was more to blame than you.
No, I wouldn't say that. I gave her as good as I got.
Well.
I'd really better be going, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I'll just leave this little thought for you and Marjorie and Leroy, if I may.
Little thought. It's a 5-pound box of chocolates.
My best grade.
You shouldn't have done it, Peavy. But here, take this along, and I hope you and Mrs. Peavy have a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. Good night, Marjorie. Good night, Leroy.
Good night, Mr. Peavy.
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Good night, Peavy. Go straight home now.
Present for Mrs. Ransom?
Yes, I have, my dear. Why do you ask?
Because I see her coming up the front walk. I'll go.
You will kindly stay right where you are, my boy. You too, my dear.
Don't worry.
I will handle this. Leela, Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Throckmorton.
My. What are all those packages?
Oh, take some of them, will you, please?
Yeah, just put them down here for a second. There.
Throckmorton, what on earth?
Heavy hangs over your head, Leela.
Throckmorton, I got a cold.
What do I care? Merry Christmas.
Oh, my goodness, you absolutely took my breath away.
Did I? Well, Happy New Year. Come on in, Leela. Take off your coat and stay a while.
Well, just for a minute. Can you bring my packages like a sweet line?
Oh, sure thing. Say, a lot of them, too.
Well, I want to explain about that. Good evening, Marjorie. Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Mrs. Ransom. What do you know?
Good evening, Mrs. Ransom. Well, I do hope you children are going to like the presents I brought you, but I never know.
Don't worry. Whatever it is, I'll be crazy about it.
Well, this package is for you, Leroy.
Gee, thanks a million.
And this is for Marjorie. The Bonton Specialty Shop, my dream. And this is for Bertie.
Oh, put it with Bertie's things under the tree, my boy.
Got it. And this is for you, Throckmorton.
Leela, you shouldn't have done it.
Oh, that's silly.
What's this other package, Mrs. Ransom?
Oh, that's the strangest thing. Judge Hooker came by with a gift for me, the old darling.
The old goat?
Oh, but wait, Throckmorton. He accidentally left a package for you at the same time.
What?
Look. To Throckmorton, best wishes for a Merry Christmas from the old goat.
Well, I'll be darned. Good old Hooker. He was true blue after all.
What's in the package, Unc?
Looks like a box of cigars. 50 Coronas. Well, I'll make it up to him next year.
Oh, the tree looks simply lovely, Marjorie. Did you decorate it? No, Leroy did it all. Well, Leroy, you should be real proud. I don't think I ever saw a prettier tree.
Thanks a lot.
Well, our side of the family always had a flair for that sort of thing. Good taste was just born in Leroy.
Oh, Unky, now that Mrs. Ransom's here, why don't we sing a few Christmas carols?
Oh, an excellent suggestion. Will you play for us, Leela?
I'd love to. I don't think Christmas is Christmas without singing a few carols.
Well, come on, then. Come on, Leroy. You can sing alto if you're careful.
Don't worry about me. You're the one that gets off.
Yes. Now, my boy.
Excuse me, Miss Gildersleeve. Is it all right if I go now?
Good evening, Bertie. Merry Christmas.
Good evening, Miss Ransom. I didn't see you over there.
I thought you'd left long ago, Bertie. Sure, you can go.
All right, then. I guess I will.
Bertie's going to sing a solo tonight in church.
Now, Leroy.
Is that a fact, Bertie? A solo?
Well, won't be nobody singing but me. Not on this one particular carol. It's just a little Christmas carol, that's all.
Well, why don't you sing it here, Bertie, before you leave?
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Oh, come on, Bertie.
Yes, Bertie, do you good. Sing it now, and you'll do it better in church.
I'd be too scared, Miss Gildersleeve.
There's nothing to be scared of, Bertie. Is that your music you got there?
Yes, sir, just a little book of carols.
Come on. Leela, you can play this, can't you?
Well, I don't believe I know it, but I guess I can play it.
All right, Bertie. Sing it.
Lolly, thou little tiny child, bye-bye, lolly, lolly. Lolly, thou little tiny child, bye. Bye-bye, lolly, lolly.
Oh, Bertie, that's lovely.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Kind of a funny tune, but I like it.
So did I.
You'll do fine in church, Bertie. Now, before you go, let's sing something we can all sing, huh?
Joy to the world. Oh, yes.
Come on, everybody in on this. Let her go, Leela.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him robe. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing.
Yes, sir. Christmas.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except the great Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve is still downstairs, fussing with something or other next to the Christmas tree.
Yeah, guess I'll go to bed.
Oh!
Gee. Well, I may live to regret this, but what do I care? Merry Christmas, everybody.
The Kraft Foods Company and the entire cast of the Great Gildersleeve join in wishing every one of you the merriest Christmas and the happiest holiday season you've ever had. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Don't turn that dial. This is the right station if you want to hear about Jonathan Thomas and his Christmas on the Moon. Hark, hark, the dogs do bark. And really, I feel so silly. For I've just come down from the moon with my hair all willy-nilly. But I've got good news to tell to you, all about little Jonathan Thomas. For I knew how anxious you'd be to hear of how he's kept his promise. Well, you remember the Witch of Rumpelstitch and the very good Fairy Queen, and what a good friend she's always been to foil the witch's scheme. Well, Jonathan Thomas is still sound asleep and under the spell in the forest so deep. But Whiskery Bill, that's the squirrel, he ran and ran and ran until he came to the rainbow's end, where the cold wind blows. He went there, you know, for the briar rose, who needed a ruby for its red. That's why to Whiskery Bill she said, "Please hurry and go where the cold wind blows and bring me a ruby that glows. And when you've done that, please hurry right back, and I'll grow you a red, red rose. And then you can keep your promise and awaken little Jonathan Thomas." So Whiskery Bill, he ran and ran, even faster and quicker than ever I can. But before he came to the rainbow's end, he chanced to meet a very nice friend who happened to be a walrus. Well, together they went, as Bill had been sent. But when they got there, after such wear and tear, they met the Rainbow Keeper. And then they were wiser, for he was a miser, and no one can be any cheaper. But the walrus said, "Look here, I'm no fool. There's more than one way to get the jewel." And they did. And then they ran and ran and ran, just as fast as anyone can until... Oh, but then, here's where the story begins again.
We're as happy and quite a bit sappy. Over the snow we go. Hippity-hop, we'll never stop for a long time, goodness knows. Hand in hand we reach the land of the beautiful red, red rose. For We've been to the land of the rainbow, the beautiful rainbow's end. We've got the red and the price on our head, which we would be glad to lend. So, hippity-hop, we'll never stop for a long time, goodness knows. Till hand in hand we reach the land of the beautiful red, red rose. Ho, 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 ho. Blimey, me lad, ho, 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 and strike me blue. If that isn't the finest song that I've ever heard, even from a bird, and that's putting it quite a bit strong.
It's a funniest thing, but I like to sing when I'm happy and gay. And I'm so happy that I'm quite a bit sappy. So, hi, nanny, nanny, and a hey, hey, hey.
Righto, by Jove, I say.
Oh, I'm sure glad I kept my promise. For now we can wake up Jonathan Thomas. And I can hardly wait, goodness knows, till we arrive at the Brambly Rose.
You know, it was a bit of fun, even if we did have to run when the keeper chased us out. And I thought I'd die with laughter. But we're no fools, 'cause we got the jewels. And blimey, that's what we went after.
You've been a good friend, for not all friends would lend such help as you have done. And I would have looked and looked everywhere under the sun for that rainbow bridge if you hadn't come.
Oh, pish and tush, what a lot of sluts. And stop your jabbering flatter. Or strike me pink, most people will think that you're as mad as an atter.
Well?
By Jove, I say. Will you look this way? We've reached the end of our trail. We've followed our nose till we've reached the rose. But I knew from the start that we wouldn't fail.
Oh, there's the Brambly Rose. Oh, but where's the ruby? Oh, dear, where I put it, only goodness knows.
Hello, my friendly Whiskery Bill. You see, I'm waiting for you still.
Hello, Mrs. Rose. Oh, I've got a kind of treat. I want you to meet a very good friend of mine. Mrs. Rose, if you'll not resent, then may I present Sir Algernon Q. Whipplesnapple?
How do you do?
Quite nicely, thank you. And I might even say that I'm charmed.
You know, I'm glad that you hurried, for I was no end worried, not to speak of being alarmed. I was afraid you'd stayed and forgotten your promise, which would have been sad for Jonathan Thomas.
Here's the rubies, Mrs. Rose. But it's not half as red as Sir Algy's nose.
Oh, now go away. That's not a very nice thing to say.
I've been told that it's very cold up near the rainbow's end.
Well, there was quite a storm, but I was quite warm, thanks to my very good friend.
Thank you for the ruby. And now, let's waste no more time. But please shut your eyes while I speak the rhyme.
Rhyme, Mrs. Rose?
Oh, yes, you might have guessed, for you see, each rose is prose, written in color and rhyme.
Oh, I'll shut my eyes.
You're both very kind and most wise. And now... Oh, earth so deep and sky so high, and all ye winds that moan and sigh, and all ye beauties of the trees, and all ye emeralds of the sea, please hide your eyes and bow your head, while I bring forth a rose so red. And now I give this gift to you. Guard it well, it shall be true. Take it as you made the promise, and awaken from sleep little Jonathan Thomas.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Rose. You're so very kind.
And now I suppose we'd better go. That is, if you don't mind.
Of course I don't. I'm very glad. For the spell of the witch made me very sad. And now I may sleep in my mossy bed, down now that you have your rose so red. Goodbye.
I'm pleased to have met you.
Righto, and so am I.
May good luck and cheer be on your way, and may you again come back someday.
We'll try to, and thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Come on, Whiskery Bill.
Oh, we're
off to keep our promise to wake up Jonathan Thomas.
For we've done
done right well to break the spell of the wicked old witch of Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, we're out to keep our promise.
Squim-dum-do, squim-dum-dee. Tell me, magic mirror, what you see.
Oh, magic witch of Rumpelstiltskin, I see the breaking of your will and the red rose token. So the spell will be broken by a squirrel named Whiskery Bill.
Forsooth, that's not the truth. I thought I stopped that Whiskery Bill.
Well, he does not stop, but goes hippity-hop as he runs across the hill.
Then much more magic will I make tragic, till he doth quake and shiver. Look and see, and then tell to me, does he have to cross a river?
Below the hill, there is a rill that's very deep and nice. But your greatest trouble, which is more than double, is that it's frozen over with ice.
Ah, their game I'll beat. I'll brew some heat, and then we'll see how nice. When in they fall, red rose and all, right through the melting ice. Right through the melting
Snug as a bug in a rug, we are. We're snug as a bug in a rug. Chug, chug.
We're nice and warm against any old storm, and we'll not quake and quiver. And we
Lippity-lop and skip and hop right over and across the river.
Oh, I'm certainly glad the river's frozen over, for water to squirrels is not like clover. 'Cause I hate to get wet, and on that you can bet.
Come on, let's cross. All set?
Yep.
Then please don't slip, for nothing's as smooth as ice. And like as I said, don't fall on your head, for that wouldn't be very nice.
Oh, look, Sir Algy. What do you know? Look, there are some cracks beginning to show.
By Jove! I say, look here, this way. If this isn't hard to beat. Where there's ice and snow, and it's 20 below, how can there be any heat?
What's that sound? Look out, we'll drown. I can't swim if I fall in. Help!
Look out! Oh, the ice!
Well, what do you know about that? Here they were just about back to Jonathan Thomas with the red, red rose. They fall through the ice into the river. Oh, and it makes me shiver to even think of it. What do you think will happen? Well, we'd better find out real soon. So don't forget to listen to the next story of Jonathan Thomas, will you? I won't.